Good evening, my name is Genevieve Shiaka reporting for the Copperbird Connection. Welcome to your daily dose of what's happening here, there, and everywhere. Today we discuss the COVID crisis. We've all been affected and we've had to adapt. So how do we get on with it whilst maintaining safety measures? We'll be analyzing 5 different sectors: agriculture, tourism, religion, entertainment, and sports. We'll be discussing the adverse effects, coping mechanisms, and solutions to the new normal, both locally and internationally. Who do you think has been the hardest hit? Stay tuned to find out. And now we will discuss religion. How many of you have been to church since the outbreak hit? Due to the crisis, many congregants of different faiths have been forced to stay grounded. According to the World Health Organization, Italy has been one of the countries hardest hit by the pandemic. So what about the Catholic Church? As home to the Catholic Church, they've had to comply to various safety measures. In a recent address by Pope Francis on 18th May 2020, he expressed joy that he was finally able to celebrate Mass again after 3 months of isolation. However, he emphasized the importance of congregants maintaining safety measures. He also encouraged them to comply with the rule that they shall no longer shake hands. This is a centuries-old tradition maintained by the Catholic Church. Within our own borders, the Catholic Diocese recently announced the reopening of churches on the 29th of June. However, there have been strict guidelines that have been sent to everyone who is attending Mass in order for them to comply. Congregants shall now wear face masks, gloves, maintain social distancing, and leave relevant contact information before each service. What do you think is the most awkward or difficult part of returning to your place of worship since the pandemic? Please leave your comments on our Facebook page below. And now we move on to tourism. I think we can all agree that travel has been hugely affected by the COVID crisis, as there are several restrictions that have been placed in many tourist destinations worldwide. As we look at our list, it comes as no surprise that Italy comes in second on the top 10 countries hit hardest by the pandemic, with Spain claiming top spot at 14.3%. However, when we analyze deeper, there are no African countries appearing on this list. Could this be a coincidence? Africa has always been a firm favorite for tourism and global travel, and it is apparent that there is an inverse relationship between the deaths reported in Africa due to COVID and the willingness of tourists to travel here. Whether or not local owners and managers of tourism destinations take this as an opportunity, we have yet to find out. As far as I know, I'm just happy that Victoria Falls is open again. When was the last time you enjoyed some fresh strawberries? Whether they're topped on your favorite ice cream or baked in the yummy dessert, we can all agree that they're a delicious treat. This week, we visited a local strawberry farm called Lifestone Farms, based in Kitwe, Garnetton, which is part of an NGO that supports orphans and vulnerable children. Find out what we got up to as we found out how they have been affected by the COVID crisis and what measures they've taken going forward.
Thank you for having us here at Lifestone Farms. Please do tell us, what is your role here at Lifestone Farms?
I'm a supervisor.
All right. Okay. And what is the production and size of this farm? And how many workers do you employ here at Lifestone?
Currently, we are having 18 permanent workers that permanent Lifestone, and we also employ some piece workers that only work for us for an extended period of time.
Okay.
Depends on whatever work we have, that will determine the profit that comes into the farm. So for piece workers, I might not really tell you the exact number, because even tomorrow we might need some more piece workers. Even tomorrow we might need to cut off piece workers. So I can only give you a definite number on whichever.
Okay, speaking of cutting off these workers, during this time that Corona has come upon us and having to adapt, what are some of the measures you've taken as an organization in terms of safety, in terms of your production, your size, and the like?
Okay, to start with, the first thing that we've taken as a measure to try and curb coronavirus is trying to adhere to direct government directives. Yes, our workers, as they are coming in, before they get into the gates, before they pass through the gates, they have to make sure to say they are sanitized. Each and every worker has to wash their hands or they use hand sanitizer as they can. On top of that, face masks are provided to each and every worker, and obviously social distancing. We try by all means to maintain social distancing. It's not easy. It is a challenge, but we try by all means to maintain that social distance.
Wonderful. Okay, and what do you think is the biggest disadvantage or the hardest hit that you've made because of this COVID or corona disease?
Oh, okay. One thing that I can talk about is, when it was too serious. I'm not saying it's not so serious, but in the beginning, when it was too serious, we had to get rid of some workers. That has really been a challenge because even with the closure of other institutions, we are finding it hard business-wise. Yes, because we are finding it hard in order to sell the strawberries and how to sell the strawberries. Because sometimes we do sell them even to market ladies. But with the restrictions that are there, even the market ladies are failing to come and buy from us. So that's in terms of revenue for the farm has gone down. So that has really been a challenge to us. That's one of the few that I can really pinpoint. Yes.
I understand. And in closing, do you have any words of advice for your fellow farmers out there who are maybe not doing the same thing as strawberry farming, but who are within the farming industry, on how, just encouragement and how they can move forward?
Yes. Actually, farming, one thing I can tell you is farming is a very good venture. If there's one sector that we need to explore, it's the agricultural sector. It has so much potential. We have vast resources, we have vast everything. And the moment we venture into something that is so practical, like agriculture, trust me, we will be the food basket of the Southern African region. And we will definitely get a lot of revenue from farming. So for those who are already doing farming, I would say, please, do not stop. Relenting is a non-starter. Let us just continue with farming and let us grow bit by bit, and for sure we shall make Zambia a better country. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nyambe. Thank you for having us.
In a time where we speak so much about essential services and non-essential services, we may ask ourselves the question, which category does entertainment fall into? We move to Hollywood, the home of those A-listers who we love to follow. Whether it's movies, social media, or reality shows, there's always something new happening in Hollywood. However, despite many of them being wealthy, they do make a lot of their income from public events, such as award shows, live appearances, concerts, and festivals. How sustainable is that in this time of the corona crisis and the constraints that have come through? In the past 4 months alone, over 100 events have been cancelled in Hollywood, and this may continue for a while. Popular venues such as the Staples Center in California, which were once bustling with thousands of patrons, are now completely vacant. In order to fall in line, initiatives have been taken. Online interaction is nothing new to these famous faces. However, it's being taken to the next level. Case in point, the recent BET Awards 2020, which was held completely virtually online. Hollywood has cleverly transitioned from a live show complete with red carpet appearances and performances by the celebrities to something that you can live stream from the comfort of your own home. This certainly seems as though this is the way forward for the entertainment industry. And if all else fails, be like Kanye West and try another industry. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be analyzing sports. I'm sure across the world, our Sunday afternoons have been changed forever. We're going to be speaking to local sports reporter Kabamba Matthews, who will give us a bit of an update on what's happening within the world of local football.
Kabamba, sports reporter for the Zambia Daily Mail. So question number 1: when last I covered the Kitwe Derby? I can't quite recall the month, but it should be this season. Yeah, it should be this season. At the Davis Stadium, Power Dynamos versus Nkana. It was the first game for Power Dynamos coach Perry Mtapa when he just came to Power Dynamos from Forest Rangers, and it ended 3-0 in favor of Power Dynamos. Quite electric game, quite interesting game. I think one of the best games that I've covered so far this season. What I think about football before COVID-19, really, there's really nothing much to think about football before COVID-19 because we haven't seen football after COVID-19, so we can't really make a comparison. So I would say football before COVID-19 was normal. Everything was normal. It was the way as it should be. So yeah, so really there's nothing. Everything was just the way it has been all along. So yeah. Whether the game will return to where it was before, quite difficult. I don't think so. At least in the interim, at least for now, I don't think it will return where it was because there are so many rules now that are governing football. It's not just football rules, but also health rules and everything that has been put in place. So I don't expect the game to be where it was. For now, I think there will be a lot of things that have changed, and yeah, so it won't be a business as you were. For starters, there won't be fans, already in the stadium. So already that's not normal. That's not the way it has been. So I expect things to change, and as we go forward, I think maybe we might return to normal. But for now, pretty much a new abnormal. Fans, well, the fans should remain positive, should support their teams from home. Of course, as we return to football, there will be no fans. So yeah, we're expected to watch from a distance. Yeah, so yeah, they should remain positive, as I said, and they should just support their teams from home and yeah, keep the fire, follow the games on TV, be positive, stay safe, and just enjoy from a distance. We'll watch the games for them in the media and we'll report them accurately. Yeah, so yeah, thanks for this opportunity. Anytime.
There you have it, folks. It seems people across the world are getting used to this corona crisis and adapting just fine. It's time we got used to it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us this evening on the Copperbelt Connection. For any more information, please catch us on our website or on our Facebook page. Have a good evening. Good night, folks.